case is trying to work on the different elements of internal organization, especially in administration of the cooperative. As the company has grown quite a bit in the past few years, and we need to also scale a number of internal processes for things to be done efficiently. So we are now trying to review the processes of how we do things internally, like a process like payroll, other things regarding OPSEC and stuff, to make it more efficient and to adapt it to the reality of the company now, which is we're almost 30 people now, so it's not such a small company, so that's one of the things I'm mostly working on how to improve the processes and make them run smooth. Then, we are recording the different episodes of the Decentralized Justice broadcast. We already published the first one with Mark Miller, who is, I would say an OG cypherpunk, one of the early day guys who were working on what was before Web3 before Web2 also. I mean, he was working on the decentralized internet since the 70s in this project called Xanadu. So that was already published, and you can watch that. Then we have recorded yesterday. I recorded one with Glenn Weil. As you know, Glenn Weil is the author of this book called Radical Markets, and it's about different. In the end, it's about institutional economics and how institutions affect the workings of organizations and of the economy, and how different ways of organizing affect the performance of different entities. If you haven't read Radical Markets, I really recommend it to you. It's awesome. I had a really interesting conversation with Glenn. Of course, I'm a big follower of his ideas, and he told me that he was a bit skeptical of blockchain the early days, and he changed his mind completely after meeting Vitalik. So that was cool. We also spoke a bit about an initiative called Plurality Institute, which is a research network for researching different elements related to what is explained in Radical Market, the Decentralized Society paper, soul-bound tokens, and all of that. There's going to be a conference to be held in January. We mentioned this before in this call, where we, as one of the sponsors of this network, we are going to participate. In our case, it's going to be William. Maybe William, you can comment a bit on that and on what is about research in these days.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that conference. So I have a 5-minute lightning talk where I will talk about some of the research we've done on how soul-bound tokens can be incorporated into Kleros to draw people based on sort of expertise they have. Ideally, even potentially intentionally drawing juries of people that have complementary and different expertise, as measured by the soul-bound tokens they have being different. So I gave a talk about that at DevCon. And I'm going to give sort of a condensed version of that talk at Plurality. And I'm sure there are a lot of people at that conference who have, sort of complementary ideas and are working on different aspects of related problems. So I really look forward to talking to them and sharing some ideas. So then beyond that, it's my other research that's going on. I've more or less finished up some revisions for an academic paper that we've been working on for a while on sort of social choice theory kind of problems related to shelling games that are inspired by Kleros. And I'm probably going to write a blog article soon on how parameters are chosen in the Kleros court. There was a fair amount of discussion in Telegram on the last set of parameter updates. So I feel, we feel it might be useful to have like an article for people to go to that condenses these ideas in kind of a readable form. Already there's an existing blog article on how to choose curate parameters, but we don't have an article like that for the court. In the calculator itself that we use to calculate the parameters, it's like a Google sheet. There is exposition about how the calculator works, which is readable, but I think it'll be helpful to have something that's like maybe for a bit more general audience. So that will hopefully happen more or less soon.
Yeah, I mean, we're also at the point where we want more people to start getting involved in parameters, decisions, and how and how we calculate that. So it's it's something we developed from scratch, basically. Mm-hmm. This method, right, William? So and we
I would really like more people to be involved in parameter, like proposing parameters, like not just being me that like so frequently proposes parameters. The thing is that like the parameters have a mix of sort of mathematical reasoning in terms of like satisfying a number of constraints, but then also there's economic reasoning about like how hard the tasks are and how much effort jurors are spending. And I'm not in all of these different courts. I don't necessarily have a good sense of how difficult the different tasks are, and you want juror input from that. And part of this comes down to like a sort of structural challenge and kind of the market way that Kleros works. In that, naively, what you want is to have people just sort of set their price and be like, okay, I'll be a juror for any fee that is like higher than X. But that is problematic in Kleros because of the kind of the attack model that we have in blockchain systems, where if like an attacker has like a specific case they know is coming up, they can set their threshold really low to try to be drawn in that case, and then the like manipulations people can do sort of around that. So like kind of the current model of governance that Kleros has to try to be resistant to attacks like that is to set the parameters by sort of like a broad governance vote, so that you would have to 51% attack the governance to like set bad parameters. But like ideally people are engaged in that process and saying I think this amount of effort is is Y, and like we should be paid like more, or maybe like the better like market clearing rate is like Z, and ideally this would be more participatory.
Yeah. So that's where we need help. So anyone who is interested in helping in this area, very much welcome. This week, so we're conducting a bunch of pilots with like legacy companies, to call it that way. One in insurance and one in exchange. Like what we would call Web 2.5. I can't really say who these are because of NDA stuff, but we have been doing a pilot, and it's amazing the results that Kleros produces in the sense of the decisions made by jurors. These are mostly like small claims settings, right? So where high volume, low value. One of those is not that much of a low value, but it's still like on the lower value kind of use cases. And these decisions are quite specialized. That require some understanding of a number of situations, a number of ways to make decisions in these industries. And by the incentives that Kleros has, we could have a bunch of people who participated in this pilot produce very good justifications at a cost that would be like impossible to match by the traditional methods that they use. So this is for us, this was an extremely important validation of how Kleros can work in those particular settings. I really hope that we can move forward with this and to take this into production, because I would love to share this with you. And I'm super excited about how this has worked in these pilots. Of course, moving this forward still requires a number of other things to be aligned. But we had like really important validation of the model of Kleros into these particular use cases, which are, as I mentioned, more from the 2.5, the Web 2.5 type of use cases. So we have that. Let me see. Maybe we can have some update. Maybe Shotaro, you want to mention something about Suzy?
Yeah, so speaking of Web 2.5, I mean, right now, Suzy is really working like, moderating a web social media platform using some Web3 content moderation tools, Reality. And the bridge is really this automated Telegram bot. So updates, the federations are working better. There are some nice features that basically are owning a lot of features from Rose. Rose is maybe one of the most popular content moderation Telegram bots out there. So the idea would be to try to market Suzy towards users of Rose, but for more credibly neutral decision making. And the next item after the Telegram bot is Discord. And, personally, I don't use Discord a lot. I'm not a power user, so I wasn't like so actively pursuing Discord, but they have better ways to manage user roles and permissions. So, Discord bot could be a little bit more feature rich. There's this project called guild.xyz that can token gate communities, including Telegram and Discord. But it could be nice to have some combination of different user roles. It is registered on Proof of Humanity. That means you can make reports. If you make too many reports that have no answer or come out negative, then you have some negative reputation there, and that's attached to your role. So yeah, there's a lot of still work to be done. I hope to push these changes of Suzy this week to the trading group. But yeah, and some gamification, trying to make it a bit more fun and have people enjoy using it. So still work to be done.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Shotaro. Wagner, you're here. I mean, what time is it there? Must be very, very late for you. Maybe.
Yeah, it's
2
a.m. Yeah, it's 2 a.m.
Go ahead.
I just
anything you
I
want
was just having
to comment something, or I mean, just say hi. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's good to tell the community about where we are this week. We are at Taipei Blockchain Week, and Emmett and I are both here checking out the local scene and finding if there are interesting projects in this part of the world that we can work with. Yeah, I'm very glad to be here for the first time for Kleros.
Good. Well, and people already saw your presentation last week, so about the current state of the integration. So if anyone wants to see it, I mean, it's YouTube, and we can share it again here on the channel. So we have that. Maybe, well, Emmett, you want something to say something? Taipei, of course.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So actually pretty interesting updates on my side. Taipei has like a good volume of like VCs and investor types. So I've managed to get some, and this can be made public, but for the next couple of cohorts, probably the one after this, or probably this next one for the incubator, we'll be able to make basically a proper network of VCs and investors that we can intro directly to some of the next participants, the participants in the next cohort, and also working on some other stuff with some auditing firms to basically get discounted rates for the startups in the incubator. So if once they graduate, if they ever want to do some audits, they could get discount through our channel partners. So mostly that's been pretty much what I've been doing here in Taipei, and we'll be growing this from here on.
Awesome. Thank you, Emmett. Let me see. Maybe Jean, some update from you.
Yes, not much. There's some drama of War of Humanity, but we are looking
Really,
for
dramas
the.
of humanity? I can't believe that.
It's incredible. It's there's no week without an episode. It's like a series that never ends. But but right now, nothing related to actually our part of the fort. So that's a good thing.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, well, let's see. About V2, I mean, as I mentioned last call, we are going to try to show a demo early January of already the interfaces and mostly how it's going to be working. I think it's not going to have the appeals, but it's still going to be like a quite advanced version, and yeah, so that's good. Let me see what else. Maybe Nacho, you want to mention something about UBI? As you know, UBI is one of the projects that were incubated by us. So maybe you have some update to share with the community.
Hey, hi everyone. Yeah, we are testing some security issues that we had, thanks to Andre. Yeah, if you guys want, I can share the screen of what we have, but there is the updates also on the proof of humanity record. Yeah, I think we are very close to the final step for launching and deploying, so we are pretty happy about that. And yeah, I was following also the drama in proof of humanity. That's all from my side. And yeah.
Awesome, thank you. As you know, we are finalizing the selection of teams for the new cohort of the incubator. It's going to start in January, I think January 9. So if you want to apply, you still have some time. And this program will have more workshops than the previous one. I mean, we are expanding the amount of content we have, and we give our teams. And as you know, lots of that is also going into YouTube as you know a Web3 project building online course. So you can take that on YouTube. And there's already videos from me. There is from Plinio about UX UI design. There is from William about mechanism design. There is one of 1 million of integrations, another one about operations. I might be forgetting some, but there's going to be more. And let me see. I think it's all for today. I will ask JB to write a little update on Telegram about the V2, but as I already said, you know, there's going to be a demo in early January. Yeah, and that's it for me, guys. You know, next call we're going to have, we have already Argentina being the world champion of football, so that's great. Yeah. Are you going to watch the game, William? Final.
Yeah, definitely, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I guess some of you are already going to watch France, Morocco in 40 minutes. Okay. Any question, guys?
I have something to add about that. We have, of course, we have Prode, where people can make their predictions about the results. But also there is an open market on Omen that uses Kleros as an arbitrator as well. And there's a lot of liquidity in that market. And there will be another market probably for France and, well, the winner of this game, France or Morocco versus Argentina, or in the final of the World Cup. So I'll post the links if you're interested.
Yeah, for next time, Jean, better luck for Brazil, you know, in 2026.
Neymar will not be there. So we need more better players.
Okay, guys, see you on Telegram then. Bye-bye.
See you.
ya.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.